welcome back. I'm checking out your recommendations today, and today's time for another Sabaton song. Surprise, surprise. I was recommended to check out a song called 7 Pillars of Wisdom, and I thought that I could check out one of those Sabaton History channel videos again. And the title suggests that 7 Pillars of Wisdom is about Lawrence of Arabia. I've heard that name like 1,000 times in my life, but I don't really have any idea who the hell is Lawrence of Arabia. But I guess I'm gonna learn now. I'm excited to learn finally who that is. Maybe is there a movie about that guy? Maybe. If there is, I haven't seen that movie. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna check out both of them. First, the History Channel video, although I did one already and it kinda spoiled the music here and there, but I try to close my ears, because it makes a lot more sense to check out first the History Channel video. So you know, when I'm checking out the song, I like know what they're singing about. So I think it's better to do that way. Although it spoils the song a little bit, but I think that's okay. But before we start, remember to hit that like button, I appreciate it very much, and consider subscribing if you like this type of content. And keep recommending me more Sabaton songs and all other stuff too. But now, let's check out this History Channel video about Lawrence of Arabia.
This is Joachim from Sabaton, and I'm Lawrence of Arabia.
And this is Sabaton History.
Now, you may have noticed that this is not our regular studio. We are, in fact, standing in the Sahara Desert because we're filming the video for the Sabaton song 7 Pillars of Wisdom.
Which,
That's
of course,
cool.
is the title of the book that Lawrence wrote.
He did. Let's learn all about it.
Let's do it.
They're actually in Sahara.
The Great War, late 1915.
Oh, now they're in the studio.
British High Command frustrated about the war's progress. Not only was the Western Front as bloody and immobile as ever, the attacks at Gallipoli had yet to bear any fruit, and the success of the Kut al-Amara expedition in Mesopotamia was uncertain. The need to open yet another front seemed pressing to many, but forces were spread thin, with really the last available contingent sent to Egypt to safeguard the Suez Canal, which the Ottomans had attacked earlier in the year. But in Cairo, a new opportunity arose as the Sharif of Mecca, Hussein bin Ali of the Hashemites, offered the British a deal. The Sharif dreamed of building an independent Islamic caliphate, and in exchange for assistance in terms of money, guns, and supplies, would call upon the Arabs to revolt against Ottoman rule. The British chief of intelligence there, Gilbert Clayton, was intrigued. An Arab force running wild in the Ottomans' rear, disrupting the stability of the empire from within, was quite a proposal, though an independent Arab state on the Arabian Peninsula and in the north from Syria to Mesopotamia, as the Sharif envisioned, was absolutely not in the Entente's interest. Well, negotiations dragged on until March 1916, when Clayton succeeded in drawing in the Arabs without making concrete concessions. Instead, British High Command let the Arabs think that they would get a triumphant entry into the holy sites and would even take Damascus. An Arab army would be created, accompanied by carefully chosen British officers. One such man was Thomas Edward Lawrence. As a young man, Lawrence had been charmed by Charles Montague Doty's travels in Arabia Deserta, and chose to study what was then called Orientalism, but which was Middle Eastern studies, and the Arabic language. Now, he was not an imposing figure, standing only 165 tall. That's 5'5" to those of you who don't do meters. But he compensated with intelligence, passion, and a fair amount of showmanship. He was assigned to the British officer corps in Egypt, spending most of his time collecting the necessary maps about the Near East and supervising the decoding of telegrams between Gallipoli and Cairo. Lawrence's expertise in the cultural, geographical, and religious characteristics of the region made him an ideal candidate for this new mission. By June 1916, Lawrence and a group of British officers were on their way to support the Arab revolt that had been proclaimed by Faisal, the son of the Sharif of Mecca. There were some intellectual circles in the big cities who supported the idea of an independent Arab state, but the bulk of the population had remained pro-Ottoman. The deliberate revolutionary conflagration did not materialize. Ottoman soldiers were not deserting in droves to the Sharif as hoped. Faisal welcomed Lawrence into his camp, though, and had him dressed in Arab clothes. This was an important gesture. Wearing the looser Arab dress instead of the tight British uniform, he visibly became part of the Arab culture and slowly gained the trust of the other tribesmen. Lawrence slipped into his Arab skin, as he called it, and could freely move in and out of Faisal's tent. The more he came to know them, the less he supported the British Empire for its arrogance towards lesser civilizations and its ignorance of the Arab world. On the other hand, though, Lawrence knew very well he could never fully become one of them. He could make the tribesmen
out of your bias,
him or even befriend him, but he would still forever be an infidel to them. He felt
to be part of whatever you have bias against.
For the world was creeping over him. The Bedouin were tough and fearsome warriors, sure, but totally unaccustomed to the tactics of modern war. They were not willing to dig trenches, and even if they were persuaded to dig them, they refused to get into them. They wanted a mobile fight, as they had had for generations, attacking quickly and in a fury. And if things didn't go their way or they were outgunned, they retreated and evaded their enemies. And Lawrence had to accept that he could not turn the Bedouin into modern soldiers. Although courageous, they were easily spooked by artillery fire, and the sight of a single airplane could throw them into disarray. They could be trained to work machine guns and handle explosives easily enough, but would not parade like European armies, nor could they be drilled and ordered around. So Lawrence had to work differently with them. So through the long desert rides, in an environment totally unknown to most of his people at home, Lawrence tried to figure out how to maximize the strength of Bedouin warfare. They avoided the main Ottoman units and instead waited in ambush for smaller reserve units or supply columns. In guerrilla fashion, they raided minor camps and attacked telegraph stations, and were more of a nuisance than a real threat to the empire. That is, until they set their sights on a major lifeline of the empire, the Hejaz Railway that ran between Damascus and Medina. Lawrence led the ambushes, laying mines and explosives on the railway line. Then, at the crucial moment, as the mines exploded and the locomotive derailed, he let the Arabs loose. Supported by Lewis machine guns, the Arabs first shot the carriages to pieces and then stormed the wreckage with scimitars and daggers, killing the survivors. The Arabs were fighting like devils, the sweat blurring their eyes, dust parching their throats, while the flame of cruelty and revenge which was burning in their bodies so twisted them that their hands could hardly shoot. By my order, we took no prisoners for the only time in our war. By the end of 1917, the British had pumped nearly £2 million worth of gold into the saddlebags of the Sharif and his sons. And not without reason was Lawrence called the man with the gold. The brutality of the Arabs was well known, but it became so problematic that British officers even sometimes allowed their prisoners to keep their guns to defend themselves against the Bedouins. And as the Allied forces moved on Damascus, it also became clear that the British had no intention of allowing the Arabs their own independent caliphate. Instead, the Middle East should be split up in spheres of influence among the British and French as soon as the Ottomans had lost control over it.
I mean,
the economic
then we wonder
and
why
geostrategic importance of the region
there's constant war
after all.
in Middle East.
They had signed the Sykes-Picot secret agreement already in 1916,
with
the lands carved up by
Western
lines
countries
just
have
drawn
always
on a map,
meddled
with
in
no
their
regard for tribal or religious boundaries. An agreement which bears a fair amount of blame. The cabinet raised the Arabs to fight for us by definite promises of self-government afterwards. Arabs believe in person, not in institutions. They saw in me a free agent of the British government and demanded from me an endorsement of its written promises. So I had to join the conspiracy and, from what my word was worth, assured the men of their reward. In our 2 years' partnership under fire, they grew accustomed to believing me and to think my government, like myself, sincere. In this hope, they performed some fine things. But of course, instead of being proud of what we did together, I was bitterly ashamed. T.E. Lawrence would soon become the legend Lawrence of Arabia, a modern Robin Hood to the British public. His tale was a tale of courageous fighting, of distant journeys, and exotic oriental adventure. Although it is often hard to tell what truly happened and what was Lawrence's exaggeration and dramatization, and that is still debated by historians today, his legendary status is unquestionable, and like the Red Barons, it has lived on for 100 years after the Great War.
Now, did you ever actually read Seven Pillars of Wisdom?
I did. Somehow I regret it though, because
Okay.
it wasn't very good, if I'm honest.
What was it that you didn't like about it? Because I never actually read the whole book. You'd think I would, but I never have.
I was about to give up several times. It's just the way he writes,
Yeah.
basically. But it was really cool to read it anyway. I'm happy now because there were certain elements in that we could use in the lyrics.
Probably
And it's great because it's a
bit of
location
a
we can use in the
tiresome
video,
read.
You know, I mean, look at it. I mean, there's a lot of pros and cons with filming in the Sahara Desert.
Yes.
Well, why don't you tell them about some of the pros and some of the cons?
Oh, top pro is, well, first time here for me. It's an amazing place to be.
I've never been here before.
Looks,
I mean, look at
looks so great.
just it's okay. The thing is, it's really peaceful and it's really zen and it's really open and expansive. But after you've been here for like 2 hours, you realize that even if I had all the water I wanted, if I was here for a day, I'd die.
Yeah.
I mean, it is deadly.
And it
peaceful.
can become really brutal that fast. It's when the wind starts to blow, man. Because
Yeah,
the
I
sound,
bet.
when we were shooting the musical part of the video, and I'm singing, I always sing along to the track, because if I just basically move my mouth, it doesn't look very good. So I'm actually singing along. And once the wind starts blowing, you get sand. So I think I've swallowed about 3 cups of sand last night.
You look great.
Oh, thanks, man.
I can see myself in your glasses. I'm thinking I look great.
Oh, yeah.
I like that they cast me, friends and all, as Lawrence of Arabia, but the Peter O'Toole version from the iconic movie. And he had that softer voice. I always see insubordinates. Yeah, you killed him. He was my friend. Now, if you look over there, you can see a green thing. That is the oasis
could be an actor.
where the resort and hotel is that we're staying. We're staying in the tents.
Yeah,
But
tents.
they're tents that have toilets and showers, and I have 2
Scorpions,
doubles.
spiders.
Not making that up. because-
Cockroaches.
Yeah.
What else have we seen?
Wild camels, but not in the tents.
Yeah, not in the tents, unfortunately.
Okay, we are obviously not in Tunisia now, and it's because after we filmed what you just saw, there were some other events that happened on our trip.
Yes, a little bit of a surprise on the way back.
Well, take it away.
Well, as some of you might know, we were in a car crash. We are
Well-
all going to recover, though. He's still suffering a bit from cracked ribs, and I think Pat got a crack in his neck or something like that.
Yeah.
And I had some stitches in my face, 7 stitches, so 7 stitches of wisdom.
Damn.
Ooh, 7 stitches of wisdom.
Yes.
Now, I was not with them in the car because I was still filming. I had another day of filming on Camelback.
In the salt flats, right?
In the salt flats. And it was my 3rd day on camel. And by that day, I thought I was pretty good at riding camel. I mean, the first, riding is okay when they're leading you around. But by then I
Looked
could
quite
guide it
bad,
around.
but-
And I got to admit, I
Good
really
to-
enjoyed
good to
riding
hear
a camel. That's the thing I liked most
that,
about the entire trip, was learning how to
No one like
get decent at riding a camel.
Was it like you expected?
No,
No, nothing that
everybody
bad
said, Okay, it's
happened.
going to be a different motion. And I
Like
knew
cracked
that you could
ribs
sort of
is
get
pretty,
into a-
pretty bad, but
especially when you're going
at least no
faster.
one died.
Although in the salt flats, because there's mud and stuff under the hard top, and every now and then my camel, his leg would break through, and then we'd be stuck. We'd have to be stuck until somebody could come and get him out. And they were doing a long shot at one point. So I'm like, 2 kilometers away from any human being, dressed as Lawrence of Arabia, in the Sahara Desert on a camel, wondering how did life end up like this when I was a little boy? And I'm guiding my camel, and in my pocket of my robes, I've got a walkie-talkie, so I can hear them tell me if they want me to go left, want me to go right. So I'm going, I'm leading the camel to the left and stuff. But then after a while, the camel decided he just didn't want to go anymore. Well, I knew how to with the legs and stuff, and that had worked before, but nope, this time it didn't work. And I could hear them in the walkie-talkie. They're like, no, don't stop, keep going. I'm like, I'm trying to talk and push the button, but since they're filming, I'm like, it doesn't want to go anymore. I can't make him go. And then the camel sat down. So I got off the camel, and this is a cool thing you can do with camels that you can't really do with horses. I got off the camel, I sat down in the sand, leaned against the camel, and just waited for them to come out. Just me and my camel just hanging out there in the desert. So that's what I did while you guys were having a car wreck.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever, for better or for worse, and there were good things and bad things about the trip, obviously. It was absolutely an adventure.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have missed it for the world. I mean, could have been without the car crash, but
Yeah.
truly an adventure.
Okay, well, that is all for today from Sabaton History.
Take care and see you soon.
Hello there. It's hot. You should become a Patreon so I can afford to go home.
Can I just real quick comment the immaculate beard that Joachim has? Like that takes time to keep it that clean. I appreciate that. I admire that. It's very cool. But yeah, interesting story. Yeah, I'm not really that familiar with the whole Middle East history. There's a lot that I'm confused about, and I said that comment about West always meddling in Middle East business. That's something just that I've heard. That's one of the reasons that there's always war, and kind of from what I've understand, it's a lot to do with Western countries stirring the pot. But yeah, I don't really know that much about Middle East history and the wars in there. Yeah, it's not something I'm really familiar with. And yeah, this whole Lawrence of Arabia thing, just yeah, didn't know anything before this video, so it's good to know something at least about him. So if you have any knowledge yourself of this whole topic, please feel free to comment and let me know further about this whole history and this Lawrence of Arabia topic, and that whole era. I'd be interested to learn more. But now, let's check out 7 Pillars of Wisdom. Nice logo for just one song. Hell yeah. It's looking like a boss. This looks great. It's a nice location. Pretty cool spot to find. Kind of reminds me of the location of what is it? The Worst Is Yet to Come song.
Where?
The hell is that band that plays that song? They kind of play in that music video in some kind of similar ruins.
Far from home, a man with a mission. In the heat of the glistening sun, in the heart of ancient tradition, this man's journey
These are cool riffs. So fast.
has entered the battlefield.
Nice.
The game is about to unfold. As the darkness falls and Arabia calls, on the spreads his wings as the battle begins. May the land lay claim unto Lawrence's name. 7 pillars of wisdom lights the flame.
nice riff.
As the darkness falls and Arabia calls on this precious ways as the battle begins. May the land lay claim unto Lawrence name. 7 pillars of wisdom lights the flame.
And cool flow to the chorus melody.
After the war has been won, deception or treason, who can tell? Who stood to gain, who stood to lose, who did the dying? Betrayal and trust from within, or compelled. The pillars of wisdom can tell. Back home where a new life awaits. Whispers are past, the sands of Arabia calling.
Oh, damn! This is a sick solo. Was that kind of some kind of a whammy bar trick there? Sounds sick. Does that have a whammy bar? With that pedal? Doesn't look like they have whammy bars, so I guess it's a pedal trick. Yeah. There he is, still wondering about. Is he doing? But they couldn't find that thing anymore after putting it to the sand. Somewhere there still. Cool. Did they continue this music video? Let me know. Is there a second part to this? I wanna watch that. It's cool music video for this song as well. Sabaton does have some really cool music videos, and like a bunch of them. I know like some bands that they have like few cool music videos here and there, but like most is just like simple performing music videos, and a lot of Sabaton stuff is too, but a lot of it has like really cool cinematography. Cinematography? How do you pronounce that? And like cool set pieces and all of that, like Screaming Eagles. That music video was sick as hell too, because it looked like they were in the battlefield playing that song. So that was super cool. And these two playing in the ruins, playing in Sahara, that was sick. And yeah, the song was pretty cool too. Cool melodic flow, the chorus, and that verse riff was really cool. Those fast picking riffs. I always like those. Yeah, overall pretty decent Sabaton banger. Yeah, interesting story, this whole Lawrence of Arabia thing. If you have anything that you can share about this story or the history behind it overall, just let me know in the comments your knowledge. Share it with all of us. But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and let's keep listening to music. Bye.